What's your platform? Have you ever thought about that? Celebrities, athletes, and politicians are often said to have platforms, a declared stance or policy for which they stand. Today, as believers, let's talk about our platforms. Hello everyone, I'm Kim Crabill, delighted to welcome you back to Strengthen Your Walk and our series, Dancing on Your Dash, discerning when and discovering how God has choreographed our daily steps to fulfill the incredible plan He has designed for each of our lives. Well, let's think about this for just a minute. As followers of Christ, whether we're homemakers or senators, whether we have 7 Facebook friends or 7 million Instagram followers, we also have a platform, which is to follow the Lord and to make disciples. That platform is not a call to live in a bubble or, like I say, a holy huddle. We are told by Jesus himself to be in the world, just not of it. Romans 12:2 reminds us not to conform to the culture, but to learn to live in that culture as Spirit-led people. But what does that look like? Well, a great example I'm reminded of is the biblical figure of Daniel. Do you remember him? If not, you can read all about him in the book of Daniel in the Old Testament. He was an amazing Jewish boy, snatched from his hometown where God was worshiped and served, and relocated to Babylon, a godless culture. Just as many of us have had to navigate an unplanned life, maybe a move, a new job, a death, a divorce, a diagnosis, Daniel was forced to find a new way to dance on his dash in order to thrive and not just survive. Once in Babylon, Daniel was chosen to serve in the king's palace. That role required 3 years of training in every aspect of the culture. It was an indoctrination, possibly almost a brainwashing. The trainees were even given new names in an effort to be stripped of their very identities. Daniel seems to have adapted well to the expectations of this new culture, and yet sometimes we have to resist rather than conform. One area in which Daniel resisted was his diet. Dietary laws may seem an insignificant issue to us today, but it was not insignificant in Daniel's culture. It's important to note, however, that Daniel didn't resist by making signs and gathering his friends for a protest or bombarding social media with nasty posts about the king. Instead, he respectfully asked for permission to hold fast to his beliefs, and permission was granted. Now, here's a strong principle for each of us today. Daniel may have been snatched from his home, but he refused to be snatched from his platform. Even in Babylon, his platform, his purpose, remained to follow the ways of his God for the glory of his God. In return, God gave Daniel influence. The king noticed Daniel and was impressed by him. Somehow the king discovered that Daniel could interpret dreams, and so he turned to him for help. In Daniel 2, we see where the king asked, "Are you able to tell me what I saw in my dreams and interpret it?" Daniel admitted that he could not, but there is a God in heaven who reveals mysteries. Daniel could have left God out of the entire conversation. He could have shown off his interpretation skills and won even greater favor with the king. But instead, he used his gifts for God's glory. He actually evangelized this pagan king who had power over his life and death. Tougher challenges awaited Daniel and his platform, and we'll look at one of those next time. But for today, I hope you will walk away with this very important insight. Just because you may live in a culture that's hostile to your faith, you are not invisible. People are watching, like the king was watching Daniel. So stay on your dash. Stay true to your platform. Keep your eyes on the dance partner and follow his lead as you touch your world with your God-given influence. See you next time, friends. And wherever life may have taken you today, I pray that you'll remember you can strengthen your walk by saying yes to the one who invites you to dance.